coming together and showing us that these are the scriptures that we're using to understand this theme of the divine counsel. So that when we go back and look through that, we say, aha, there it is. It's right in front of our eyes. It's hidden right in front of our eyes. It's fascinating, isn't it?
Wow, there's the magnificent storm that just passed by me and rained on me like crazy. Take a quick break from the Council of the Gods and look at the clouds. You know, I found another article on the clouds as part of the Yahweh Sabaoth, the actual army of Yahweh. It's very interesting. I'll have to get that study out and share it with you. But you can see that was a screaming thunder boomer there. Had a little bit of lightning. Not too bad. So anyway, okay, I got to quit goofing off here and get back on the Council of the Gods. Every class deserves a quick break. What better break than to look at the fabulous creation, right? All right, just bear with me, will you? I'm the backyard professor, for crying out loud. I love nature. I love being on this beautiful earth. I'm on page 177 in Heiser's dissertation in chapter 7. He says, the significance of the terms on high in his sanctuary and in the Sabbath songs of the plural thrones in the inner sanctum, the significance of these Hebrew terms, he says, and their immediate association with the throne room of Yahweh, and he is the head of Israel's divine council. So the significance here must not be underestimated. He says, rather than reflecting a council whose former second-tier deities have been demoted to the status of the angels, what the Song of the Sabbath Sacrifice in the Dead Sea Scrolls show us is that the throne room motifs point to a divine plurality. The plethora of references noted in the next section to the Elim and to the plural Elohim council members, as well as the royal language of divine princeship and vice-regency, he says all of this point in the same direction and buttress the contention of this chapter. And what he's contending is something very powerful. Israel's pre-exilic Council of the Gods was a core belief for the sect at Qumran during the Second Temple period. Now, the Second Temple period, the First Temple period was Solomon's temple. You know, Solomon, King David's son, built the first temple in Israel. That's First Temple Judaism. Second Temple Judaism is after the Jews came back from Babylon and in their captivity. This is after Daniel and Ezekiel. After they came back, they built the Second Temple. So it's about 400 BC down to Christ's day. That's the Second Temple era. He further notes, he says, the notion of sonship is preserved in these texts. Now this is critical. This is very interesting because it's not separate categories. It's a family setting. And they took sonship to mean literally because they included themselves in this council. They believed that the holy angels were surrounding them and that in their battles as the sons of light against the sons of darkness, they believed they were part of the heavenly entourage. They were part of the council of the gods. That's why they were so strict with their purifications and ritual cleanliness and holiness. This is really interesting how the scrolls, the Qumran community, viewed themselves. The terms often employed occurs in the titles of Yahweh, such as God of Gods. You see, he is the head God of the gods. This is Joseph Smith's conception. This is beautifully confirmed in the Dead Sea Scrolls Song of Sabbath Sacrifice. Yahweh is called the God of Gods. He is the head God in this council. Beautifully. And it's overt in other divine council contexts. It's also important to note that the notion of sonship, divine sonship, the banim, they are the divine sons. The banim is the Hebrew term. This is preserved in many of these usages in this text. Heavenly Council bureaucracy, very important to grasp the context of the Heavenly Council bureaucracy. Wow, it's starting to get... I'm going to get rained on here shortly. Check this out. I got to show you this real quick. This is beautiful. Look at that gorgeous, skyline, huh? You ever seen anything so beautiful? I love storm days. I love storm days when it's not storming on me. Hey, there's a good shot right there. There's a good shot right there. Okay, now I'm going to put my ugly mug back into this thing. The divine chariot in the Shir Shirot, the divine chariot precedes a word for the divine throne. They're actually combined. Both the chariot and the throne are one and the same, basically. And this is the place where the divine beings inhabit. This is where they preside with their council of the gods. And this is the vision of Ezaekiel in chapter 1. It's very interesting. The Merkava mysticism of the Jewish rabbis in the Zohar and the Sefer Yetzirah ties right in with this. So I mean, the Dead Sea Scrolls could be Kabbalistic texts in that respect, because they definitely utilize these same texts that their later ancestors, the Jews in the Zohar, in the 11, 12, and 1300s in the medieval ages, they also utilized this information. It's a long, continuous tradition that we're noting here. And I've been looking into some things in the Zohar on that's really fascinating. See now, it's on page 181, and he's hammering the point home here, because it's important to make. The sectarian texts at Qumran that are intact, and they lucidly, clearly distinguish the beings of the heavenly host, thereby retaining the hierarchical tiers of the pre-exilic divine council of the Hebrew Bible. This is their basis for having their own theme of the divine council. The basis is their Bible, the Hebrew Bible, the one we possess, based on the Masoretic text. Its own community of the faithful could join the heavenly council as members in a mystical process of human deification. Once again, Fletcher Lewis, Carol Newsom, Michael Heiser, this is an enormously, seriously huge theme in ancient Judaism. Leonore Leet, Andrei Orlov has shown in the books of Enoch. Martha Himmelfarb has shown this. Margaret Barker. I mean, there are just dozens of scholars that discuss this. Here's what Heiser says. This belief in a divinized human council is based in part on earlier biblical passages and the position of Israelites as divine sons. This is precisely what Leonore Leet has shown in her book, The Universal Kabbalah. It's a gigantic text. It's fabulous. In fact, she wrote 4 books discussing this. This is the secret doctrine of the divine son. This is the theme of ancient Israel. This was the whole point of their existence, was to become divine and participate in this council of the gods. As gods, not angels. Heiser's huge on this. It's absolutely fascinating. Every scholar I turn to and look at in the Council of the Gods discuss these 2 themes. The council, there was a plural of gods, and the reason why is because we're part of it. There's an old crow. Corvus the crow's out flying today. Well, the hope of the Qumran community, it was not to become heavenly creatures. Now, get this. Folks, this is huge. Michael Heiser. Doctoral dissertation, page 182. The hope of the Qumran community was not to become heavenly creatures, but divine sons of the Most High. You may as well be quoting Joseph Smith, the Mormon prophet. That is his doctrine as a restoration of what ancient Israel believed. That's beautiful. That's the perfect summation. I can't say it any better as a Mormon. Heiser has taken my thunder from me. That is perfect Mormon doctrine. That is perfect Mormon doctrine right out of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Council of the Gods and the divinization of the human beings. That's the point of our existence. That's perfect. All I can say at this point is, amen.